Do you know that the name Peace in Peace Ibiyeomie was not given to her by her parents? Peace was actually given to her by her husband. Stay with me, because in this video, I'll unpack a few things that you never knew about the beautiful and quiet-looking woman we all know as Pastor Peace Ibiyeomie. Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. My name is Charity Lawrence, and in this video, I share the story of Pastor Peace Ibiyeomie. Stay tuned. On the 11th of July 1964, in the beautiful city of Jos Plateau State, which is located in north central part of Nigeria, the beautiful Mrs. Peace Ibiyeomie was born. Her parents were from Delta State. They are both dead, but she has 8 brothers.
I was not married. I will look at women. I see some women they take outside the country, and I had 8 brothers. So they say for like someone they take women outside the country. And I asked myself, the women they are taking outside the country, they have 2 hairs. See, they don't have 2 hairs. I will marry. And when I was in school, I liked Lufthansa. When the people will be talking Lufthansa, I've never entered Lufthansa. My parents didn't take me through. That is why I'm a big customer of Lufthansa. Whether it's among the best one or not, I don't know. That Lufthansa, I said I will enter it. And here I am today. So keep your hope.
As a young unmarried lady residing in Lagos State, Nigeria, she began serving God in the sanctuary unit of the Living Faith Church worldwide. She would go to church very early to sweep the environment before the service starts, and even sweep the church again after the service has finished. She became so committed and focused in serving God because she heard that if she wanted to marry a man after God's heart, she must become a woman after God's heart.
When I was taught, I started making myself to be right. Because if my husband had met me some years back, he wouldn't have proposed to me. If you are looking for the right person, make yourself to be right. Whatever you want in somebody's life, make sure you are able to offer it. So you won't be looking, I want to know the right person. Are you right to be found? Somebody once told me that people have been telling her that she's supposed to marry a responsible man, something good. I said that the way you are looking, you are not supposed to marry that kind of person you are talking. Yes, I told her, say, I'm sorry, but you are not looking like the person that will marry such person you are targeting. So make yourself fit, be the right person.
She was so committed in her service to God that she told God that any day an unbeliever would stop her on the way and tell her that he wants to marry her, she would go back to the altar and rededicate her life to Christ. Because in her head, an unbeliever should see her and not want to even have anything to do with her because of the way she carries God on her head. In 1996, she joined the Word of Faith Bible Institute, which was a 1-year Bible school of Living Faith Church Winners Chapel. It was here that she met her husband, Pastor David Ibiyeomie. Pastor David Ibiyeomie said he was drawn to her because of how committed she was in serving God. They got very close, and then they began to speak every day. He proposed marriage to her and she accepted because he was not just handsome but very caring, and he also loved God. At this time, Pastor David Ibiyeomie was not wealthy. When he got married to her, he had just 1 fan and 1 bed. He had no car, he had no church. He was just a man with a vision. And the gist is that at the time she accepted Pastor David Ibiyeomie's proposal, she had a very serious suitor that was wealthy and even had a BMW car. But she turned his proposal down and married Pastor David Ibiyeomie on the 20th of March 1996. Their marriage is blessed with a son. In the early years of their marriage, things were so tough. There was a day she and her husband drank only gari and water as their morning, afternoon and evening food because they had no other thing to eat. They wore second-hand or thrifted clothes, popularly known as Okrika, because they could not afford brand new ones. Pastor David Ibiyeomie once shared the story of how Pastor Peace Ibiyeomie would wait outside the store of where they go to buy the Okrika clothes so that she can keep watch in case there's anyone coming around that knows them. Despite all of this, the hunger, the lack, she stayed loyal. I know she stayed loyal because Pastor David Ibiyeomie does not hide how much he appreciates her love. He credits her publicly every chance he gets. Pastor Peace Ibiyeomie is very prayerful. She organizes night vigils in her home every Friday to pray for her husband and for the ministry. And she prays every midnight, every day, and has stood by her husband, Pastor David Ibiyeomie, through thick and thin. This beautiful, calm-looking wife of Pastor David Ibiyeomie holds a doctorate degree in business administration from Ignatius Ajuri University in Rivers State. And she sits as a key administrator and governing board member of various businesses of the ministry, including Okma International Academy, which is the primary and secondary school of Salvation Ministries, Word of Life Bible Institute, which is also the Bible school of the Commission, and lots more. She has written several books, including How to Get Married, Building a Stable Family, Your Passport to Success, and many more.
Don't be like another person. A carbon copy can never be like original. Be in the center of God's will for your life. You know why people can talk you out of the will of God? I have some people, they are women, pastors' wives, that have table talk. They will invite people, they will talk. That's God, how God may want them to do. God didn't send me to gather you on the table and we say, yeah, what is this? I'm not into it. So I am in the will of God. I love widows to help them and help ministry. Find the thing you can do with joy, with your money and everything. That's really where you will fulfill destiny. Don't be like me. There's something in you that is better. Be yourself. Pray it out.
Every single month, Pastor Peace Ibiyeomie gathers widows and orphans through the Peace Ibiyeomie Foundation to pray with them and bless them with food items, clothes, money to start small businesses. She pays their children's school fees and even offsets their medical bills. She has also single-handedly built more than 3 churches in various locations, from scratch to the finishing. No wonder people call her the calm in the storm. Behind this beautiful, peaceful, quiet-looking lady is a fierce lioness that already fought and won her battles in private on her knees when no one was watching. This prayerful woman is one of the major secrets of Pastor David Ibiyeomie and Salvation Ministries' success today. Happy birthday to our lovely Pastor Peace Ibiyeomie. My name is Charity Lawrence and I'm glad you watched up to this point. Remember to subscribe to my channel if you're not yet subscribed to me. Like this video and share it with your loved ones. I'll see you in my next video, hopefully tomorrow. Until then, bye.